What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So we are still working towards getting ourselves the neutron collectors, right? So in order to do that, we need a lot of these, I guess, what are those called? Like flux infused crystals? I can't remember. Let's take a look. Neutron. If I could spell it right. Yes, we need this. So we need these flux crystals, which is the flux crystal, which is a diamond with a redstone on it. Yeah. So we have a lot of these being crafted up right now. And then on the back over here, I've added in another magma crucible just because we weren't able to keep up on the redstone demands. I still need to keep putting redstone in there manually right now. So I think with two of those going, we are keeping up with this pretty good. Otherwise, we're kind of waiting on redstone to be made, which is slowing down this whole operation a little bit. Yeah, so we have like the single redstone going in here, which is just being pushed over. We have the redstone blocks on the back, which is pushing more redstone into here, which is keeping this going all the time. We had to make, oh man, it was like 1,500 blocks of these things. Yeah. So we have 1,100 more to make. It's going to be a little bit of time before this finishes up. But I just got to keep adding in the redstone here to help this along. Unfortunately, these things do not have, or I guess the flux crystals or whatever, do not have EMC. So I do have to craft each and every individual one of those things by hand. Yeah, the block doesn't, the resulting crystal doesn't. So yeah, we just have to keep doing this. I have to keep stocking that up. And yeah, eventually we'll get all of those done. We're trying to make 2 stacks of those neutron collectors, remember? So that's why we have so many of those that we're going to be making. Now, at the end of the last episode, we started making some gears. We told the system to craft up a whole lot of these solar neutron activators, right? So we made the HDPE and we told it to make 128 of these things. And I noticed that there was like so many stacks of items on top of our metal press. I was like, you know, those are probably going to despawn, right? Yeah, they ended up despawning. So I was kind of going through NEI here, looking for different types of hoppers or whatever else. I was trying to figure out different ways that we can get items to be pushed on there. If we use something like item conduit, the item conduit will like work for the first item and then it'll disconnect and not want to connect again. Like, it's so weird the way this works. It seems like only a hopper is the only reliable way of putting items onto the conveyor belt. So a vanilla hopper is pretty slow because it pushes one item at a time. It doesn't really go very quickly. So I saw that there was this thing called Omni-directional hopper. So I decided to grab one of those and try that out. Where is it in here? Yeah, right here. Omni-directional hopper. It looks different, I guess, in here. There's apparently a liquid hopper. I'm not really sure how that works. But yeah, this guy is pretty inexpensive. So that is compressed iron plus a chest, right? That's not bad. You can flip it upside down so it can pull items from an inventory below it and still push the items out. So yeah, it can go any direction. You can pull from the bottom or from the side, I guess, or anything like that. It's really, really neat. But what's great about this is that you can put upgrades in there. So right now we have 5 speed upgrades. Let me grab some speed upgrade. You can put a lot. I think it said you can put up to 12. What does it say on this thing? It says in here, max 13. So if you put 13 of those in there and you go to, is it right here? One of these. Yeah, it says 256 items per tick. Like, this is a very quick item transport system. But here's the problem. So let's say we're going to make a bunch of iron gears. Let's tell the system to make, oh, I don't know. How about 20 iron gears, right? So this chest gets full of all the stuff that needs to be put in there. Maybe, no. Okay, yeah, the chest got full. The hopper pulled these items out. So that's enough to make all of those different gears. But you notice nothing's happening. Yeah, it is waiting, I guess. It's trying to push all items onto that conveyor belt at the same time, and it can't accept 256 items or whatever that is on there at once. So if you remove all of these except for, I guess, down to where it does 4 items per tick, it'll put 4 items directly on there, and they'll just go. So I guess one more of those away. Yeah, that starts working right away. So this is a really nice item. It works without having any of those upgrades in there, but then it works just like a regular hopper where it places one item and then another, then it goes. So it's kind of slow that way. You want to have 5 of those speed upgrades in there so it can do 4 items at a time, right? Is that what it is? Did I mess that up? Or is it? Yeah, it says 4 items per tick. Try it again. After it sends that item, there it goes. Yeah, there must have been already one on the conveyor, then I put those in there and I was trying to add an additional 4 and it couldn't work. But anyway, this seems like one of the best items to use for this metal press. I've never seen this particular omnidirectional hopper before. I like that a lot. So yeah, in order to make these speed upgrades, we needed a bunch of lubricant, which we have lubricant cow, I think, in the last millennium. But we were also given this lubricant bedrockium drum as a reward a little bit ago. So I went ahead and I used some of the lubricant out of that for this purpose. All right, so I need to continue being over here and filling this thing up full of redstone since I don't have an automated way to do that at the moment. I suppose I could add in like an export bus or something over here, or maybe a hopper full of stuff. Maybe a hopper is going to be the easiest solution. Let me grab a hopper with just 2 Ps, not 3 Ps. There we go. Throw that right there. Put some redstone blocks in there. Let's grab a few more redstone blocks. I should tell the system to craft up a few stacks of those. I don't know why it doesn't work on the first click. It feels like I have to click that multiple times, and then it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll start working now. That redstone. Wrong one. Okay. So we should have enough redstone blocks to fill that hopper up. Perfect. Great. Okay, so we are still working on making the neutron collector. So this is going to take a while for all of these bits and pieces to be made. We can start working on the other things that need to be done. So we want 2 full stacks of all of the items here, right? So we're going to do 128 of these. So that means we need 4 stacks of these crystallized redstone for 1 stack. So we need 8 stacks of these crystallized redstones for 2 stacks, right? So what is that? That is 64 times 4 would be 256. So if we need, so I guess we need 512 of those crystallized redstone. Let's tell the system to make 500 of those. Yeah, that's a lot of redstone. It's gonna take a while. That's I mean, it's not like super slow, but it is kind of slow for this thing to actually craft each one of those with the lasers. So yeah, it's gonna take a minute for that to finish up. So we'll just queue that up because that is gonna take a little bit of time. So what else can we work on? Vibrantium ingots. So we are going to need, I guess, 128 villagers. No, 256 villagers in soul vials for this amount. It is 2 villagers per ingot plus all the vibrant alloy and the solarium that goes into that. So we need to get a way to get those villagers into soul vials and automate that process. So that's something we'll be looking at here pretty soon. Compressed dark iron. Did we ever set up a thing for that? Dark iron. Yes. Okay. So we have that done. How many is that? That is 16. 16 times, I guess that'd be 32 times 64, whatever that number is. It's a large number. Maybe I should just tell it to make like 1,024. Is that going to be about what we want? I don't know. Compressed dark iron, 1,024. We'll just say that many. Do we have enough stuff? We have that. All right, so we'll just start that up now because that's going to take a minute for that to happen. I can also come over here and whichever one it is, probably one of these last ones. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I think I stuck it back here, didn't I? I can take some of these dark irons and kind of split it up into a bunch of these and get that going a lot faster should we need to speed that up, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so what else can we work on at the moment? Signalum, large plates, that's going to be pretty easy to do. Diamond Edge Computational Matrix. You know, we don't have these set up, but we might have all the different things to make these. We've never made a computer in this playthrough, which is kind of weird because normally that's one of the things I like doing, but I've never done that. Do we have glass? Glass pane. Do we have that on AutoCraft? We do. Perfect. What else do we need for this? Ender diamond. No, we got those, and I know we got this. Actually, did I ever make the recipe for this? Diamond. No, I don't see a diamond etch computational matrix in there. So there's our first computer. We just made it, but we want to make this. So that was an ender diamond. Ender diamond. I know we had those in AutoCraft. Cool. All right, so now we should be able to do this. And with these 2 recipes, we should be able to auto-craft however many, what is it going to be? I guess 8 stacks of that. Yeah, that's another large craft. There's so many of these things that we need to pre-craft up that this is just going to take a long time for me to AFK and get all this stuff done. But it's fine. These are things that need to be done. So computational matrix, again, I don't know. I'll say 512. I think that's a pretty reasonable amount. Looks like we have everything ready to go. Just go ahead and start that up. Anything crazy going on here that I should know about? That's crafting. This is all crafting. All right. Well, I tell you guys what, let me go ahead and finish up what we got going on here. I'll make some of those signalin plates and anything else that needs to be filled in. We'll go and fill this in. We'll try and make 2 stacks of these things. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, we are making some progress here. We got a lot of stuff currently made, but we still got a lot of stuff that we were waiting on. Like we have to wait on more of these signalin plates. We still need another stack here. Then we need 3 more stacks of these plates for this one over here. Still got to wait on a lot of the dark iron to be compressed. I have taken a lot of it and split it up between a lot of our electric compressors. Flux crystal blocks, those should be done about now, actually. Yeah, we got 128 in here. Perfect. All right, so we can fill this little bit in. We are really waiting on these crystallized redstone. Those are also going to take quite some time to complete, so we got a lot of time to kill. There's another 366 to be made. Crystal, we have 14 since the last time I looked. It feels like we should have so much more. Okay, so we got, you know, a stack and a half. So the one thing that's really going to suck about this, once we get this all completed, is the solar neutron activators. These do not stack. So I'm going to have to grab, you know, an inventory's full, put it in here, craft, put another one in there, craft, put another one. Anyway, so that's the thing that kind of sucks about this. But one of the things that we did need is Elven quartz. So let's go ahead and start working on Elven quartz. So to get this, we need Elven quartz, the regular quartz that's turned into this to turn into these blocks. Those are made from putting regular quartz through the Elven portal. Yep. So that's pretty simple. Let's get ourselves an item collector. Do that and that. Cool. All right. So the way I like doing this is putting a chest nearby the Elven portal with an item collector on it. So as it spews out items, this just gets collected. We don't have to sit there and wait for it, since it kind of like pops out one item, or I guess maybe like 3 or 4 items per second. Like it's decently fast, but I don't want to wait on that. So let's do X and Z. We'll make that 3x3 just so it can pick up a little bit around the chest. Radius of 2, that should be fine. If it falls on the ground, should be able to pick it up or whatever. Okay, so now we need to get our wand out. We haven't used a wand in like forever, it feels like. Anyway, I just got done filling up these mana pools full of mana, and I added another mana pool over here, the one that I removed previously so we could cheese the Gaia boss. So I put that one back, put a spark on there. Yep, and filled that up. Okay, so here we go. Let's turn this thing back on. Seems like my chest disappeared back there, but it is still there. I guess that stuff just doesn't render through the portal, which is kind of weird. Wait, can I not fly through the portal? Oh, I can't. Okay. Anyway, let's grab an inventory full of quartz. Nether quartz. Okay, yeah, let's grab a full inventory of this. I'm not sure if it's 5,000 or 3,000 or how much goes in our inventory. I guess it's a little under 3,000 or maybe a little under 2,000. Anyway, whatever. We'll just take all of those and drop them all through the portal. The item collector will collect those items as they get popped out, and we should have a full chest of the stuff by the time it's done. But yeah, I'm not going to sit there and camp it. The item collector will do that for us, so that's pretty awesome. Alternatively, we could have something like an interface over there with the item collector on it, filtered so it only grabs the items that come out of that portal. So anything that gets put through the portal will get collected and complete an autocraft recipe. I mean, we could do that, but honestly, I don't think it's really worth doing that because we don't really use that portal too much. Now, there's going to be some other things from Botania that we will have to automate, and we'll be looking at that in the future, like making runes and things of that nature. But for right now, I think we're good. So we got the Elven quartz situation pretty much under control. I think it's 4 pieces per. So we need, you know, the 5 stacks, and then we're going to need the same thing for this recipe on this side too. So it's quite a lot of that we need. I don't know if 1 full chest is enough. It might be. Anyway, so other things that we need is this dark cloud. So light and fluffy, causes lightning strikes. So that dark cloud, I do believe, is found in the end. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these clouds right here are dark cloud. Yep, so those are dark cloud. Very easy to get this stuff. All we gotta do is just vein mine, all right? Whoop, fly. So vein mine this. Yep, all gets put in my inventory. It's a pretty simple thing to do. It's not one of those things you really think about, but yeah, I think all the clouds here in the end are called a dark cloud. So yeah, that's a pretty easy one as far as all the other recipes go. You don't really have to go too far for it or anything like that. You've already been to the end by the time you need this stuff, so it's really not that big of a deal. All right, there's a full inventory of that. I'll probably grab a few more just so I don't have to keep coming back here. Although I really doubt that we're gonna have to come back here. It was a few stacks of the stuff that we needed per crafting recipe though, wasn't it? What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 stacks per. So we need a total of 40 stacks. You get 27 stacks in your inventory, not including your hotbar. So if you do 2 full inventories worth, you should have plenty of the stuff, right? I think that's the only time you need these clouds. So it's not like you're gonna have to do an enormous amount of this collection. But yeah, I might as well just get them all while we're here. So, oh, some of those are not dark clouds. Some of those are regular cloud. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so that is something to be aware of. Let's get rid of the regular clouds. We only want the dark ones. I thought that all the clouds here were dark. I am absolutely incorrect. Magnet, lost it. Okay, well, we can go ahead and collect the rest of these. How are we doing? All right, so just a few more of the clouds and we should be good to go. Maybe this one will be enough. Whoa. What did I get? I got more of those clouds. All right, let's turn this back off. Regular cloud out of my inventory. This is dark cloud. Cool. Magnet's back on. We'll vein mine this. There you go. Now we got enough. Let's peace out of here. Okay, so the dark cloud. Let's take a look at this. That goes pretty much all the way around except for the 4 cardinal directions of this center thing. So we should be able to put all of those in here. Like so. Yeah, we're still waiting on that signalum plate, but that won't be that big of a deal. Just placing all these items in here is like the hardest part. Is what it feels like. All right, so that is one of these things almost done. There we go. Okay, so there's all of that. So we need another stack of our signalum plates. Okay, now good. We're working on the second set of 3 stacks right now. So that's done. So now we need the Elven quartz. We need the rest of the dark iron, the compressed dark iron. 460 of those right now. All right, so we can place that here, that one there, those 2. Then we can start working on this one because we are definitely going to want all of these other ones going. Okay, so now there was another thing I noticed here. This is HOP graphite ingot. This is another thing that is going to take a special setup to do because as HOP graphite dust, I believe you can only get that through an industrial squeezer when you have coke dust in there. Yeah, there is no EMC for this, but I think the coal coke does have EMC. If I remember right. Yeah, so we can EMC this, we can pulverize that down, but we have to make the industrial squeezer in order to do stuff with that. Now, I can't remember, was there a quest a long time ago for an industrial squeezer? Right here. And actually, I did complete this quest when I was doing some of these, yeah, not, I guess, off camera or whatever. So in order for the industrial squeezer to work, I believe we needed 9 of these industrial squeezer blocks. I might have made an extra for that one. Nope, I only made 4 of them. Yeah, so I got to make a few more of those. Let's go ahead and get that set up because we definitely need 128 HOP graphite ingots, and there is no other way to do it other than that immersive engineering machine. So let me go ahead and get this thing set up. We'll set up an automation for this and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so here is our industrial squeezer. It is 8 of the squeezer blocks, not 9. You can look it up in the engineer's manual, although it's really small if you have your GUI on large like I do. I think that gets fixed in 1.10. But anyway, yeah, so it is 8 of these industrial squeezer, and then it is 19 of the light engineering block, 9 on top, 9 on the bottom, 1 in the center. Yep, we just have to smack this thing with the engineer's hammer still. Engineer's hammer. Let's get a good old schmack. There it is. Cool. All right, so it looks like power on the top. We get items in or out on the sides. Yeah, that looks like about what it is. So we will let's put a tesseract right there on the top. Main base power. This is set to receive only. So this has power inside. This is ready to go. So the squeezer does require the coal coke powder, right? Not just coal coke, but it has to be put through a crusher to get the coke dust. Yeah, there's no other way to get this stuff. This is the only recipe through the crusher. So I did set up the multi-block structure for this. We already had all these parts ready to go, except for a few of these light engineering blocks and the hoppers. But at some point, I'd made a bunch of these steel fences. We already had the steel scaffolding, and we had a good portion of these light engineering blocks still made in the system. So once again, we do have to smack this with a hammer. Right there, that works. Okay, so this one gets power. Where is the power? Right there. Looks like power. So we'll do main base power. Receive only on that. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. So that should now have power. There is no interface on this thing, so you can't right click it to see what's going on. You can put a lever here to turn this on and off, I do believe. Yeah, and down in there is where things get nommed on. So we need to grab ourselves some coal coke. We currently have 40 of that. Wait, what was this other stuff? Are these coal coke blocks? Blocks of coal coke. I don't know if you can crush the block or if you have to convert it to this stuff. But these things do have EMC in it. And before we go further, before I forget, let's go ahead and make some more out of EMC. Grab a stack of stars, throw that in there. Yeah, okay, so we just have those ready to go just in case. I don't want to run out of those things for whatever reason. So I believe with this, you just toss the items in there and out spits the resulting item. It is kind of a fast machine. It's not really that slow, right? Let's go ahead and make this a little bit better though. I did grab some item conduit. So we should be able to set this to be insert. I'll just run this underneath. Probably could have done something with the tesseract so we're not using one per machine, but honestly, it doesn't matter. We have all of the tesseracts. Oh, that was in the right spot. Perfect. I don't remember. Yeah, it doesn't look like the item conduit connects to that. I think we might have to put a chest there, and then we can extract out of that chest. I remember having to do something weird with this before. All right, let's come down here. Whoop, not that side, this side. So we will set this to be extract, always active. This is set to insert over here. All right, so if I put the stuff in this, looks like it's extracting out. And things are happening over here. It looks like this is kind of slow though. Oh, okay, that's right. We get 8 of these. So the 8 HOP graphite dust. The uses for those, we just smelt those directly. Is there a way we can double it? Induction smelting, you can do 2 at a time, it looks like. I wonder if we put it over in our other thing, does this double it at all? Our extreme furnace over here. Search the system for HOP. Nope, it only does 1 at a time. Okay, so it doesn't really matter how we smelt it. We just got to smelt it. Yeah, none of that stuff has EMC, so we do have to do this all manually. Now, we can put in a whole bunch of items into this. I don't know how large the buffer is. It is made out of 9 hoppers. Each hopper holds 5 stacks of items. So I assume you can put in like 35 stacks of items in here. I don't know. I've never tried doing something like that. But we do need a lot of that HOP stuff. So we just made 8 out of 1 stack. So we are going to need a lot of this stuff. So I guess that's 8 stacks of coal coke per stack of the HOP stuff. So let's try and figure out how many more stacks we need and try and get a reasonable number here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 stack, so we need 1 more. So there is our 7th. Then we need 8 more. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that should be the amount that we need for these 2 neutron collectors, I think. All that goes in there just fine is being output. That's pulling the items over to this thing. Can we put a chest? Do we have to? I don't know if it output directly or if we have to do this. I'm just gonna do this. Insert, extract, always active. There's our HOP graphite. Now, does it do more based on how many are in there? It looks like it just did a whole lot right there, didn't it? I'm not sure how that all works. Anyway, this is a process that's going to take a minute for it to complete. I guess in the meantime, I can kind of button this up and make it look a little bit nicer so there aren't holes in our floor everywhere. Let's grab some facades here. We can make this look even nicer still. One there, one there. Perfect. I like it. Okay, so this is a process. We just gotta wait for this thing to happen here. We could hook this up to Applied Energistics again, have coal coke being dropped in here, have this stuff going and being auto smelted and all that stuff. I think this is the only time we need to do this HOP stuff. So yeah, I think this is just gonna be a manual process. I don't really feel like I need to automate this whole thing. So I think we're gonna be good to go on this. So let's go back and take a look at what else we got here. So everything is filling, whoop, what did I just click on this? Everything is filling out quite nicely here. We're still waiting on these crystallized redstone. We got the HOP being made. The next step is the villager ingots, the vibrantium ingots. So let's get some stuff together. We'll try and get a process automated for that, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so here we go. This is going to be our automatic villager bottler thing. That's the technical term for it. So we have two autonomous activators here, right? So one of them is going to shift right click the villager souls in this little space. The villager's going to land on this pressure plate, which is going to emit a redstone signal. When this one gets a redstone signal, it stops shift right clicking, okay? When this one gets a redstone signal, it starts shift right clicking. This one is going to contain soul vials, right? So when it shift right clicks, it should be able to capture the villager's soul. It'll be inside the autonomous activator. So we are going to extract out of there through this item conduit into this chest. This has a filter on here to blacklist the empty soul vials. It should allow the filled ones through. I haven't tested that, but I'm pretty sure it will. So that'll go into here, into this chest. We're going to have that go into a second diamond chest just for extra buffer room in case we have a lot of these going. I don't really know how many we need. And then that's going to go into an ender chest, right? Brown, brown, brown ender chest. So we have Tesseract here just providing power with some conduit to either side since these do require power. And this is going to be kind of like a manual process. I will place in soul vials here. And then I will place in the villager souls on this side. Things should start happening, but we won't do that part just yet. Show you guys the rest of this. Yeah, so nothing's happening. These aren't being extracted out. So that chest, the ender chest, the brown, brown, brown one, ends up over here in the back side of our soul binder. Since we have to bind that to an emerald, the villager soul to an emerald, I think is how that works. Let's take a look at this. Vibrantium. I probably should have looked at this earlier. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, so it's the villager soul plus an emerald equals this enticing crystal. We also need 15 levels of experience. So since we already have this thing hooked up, so it's already getting experience, I figured this would probably be the easiest place to do it. Just reuse the machine that's already hooked up over here. Okay, so brown, brown, brown chest. This is where the filled villager souls are going to go. We're extracting out of this one, always active. We also have another chest here that we're going to be extracting out of, always active. And that is inserting into the back of our soul binder. This chest right here is going to have emeralds in it. One gets pulled out right away and put into the correct slot. This is now waiting for our villager souls. So now we can turn this thing on and hopefully our automatic enticing crystal manufacturing plant is going to work. So 4 stacks of villager souls in here. Villager picked up. I assume things are happening. Oh yeah, there was a soul vial right here. So this should start filling up all the way. We'll buffer into this chest. And then if that fills up, we'll buffer into this chest. Hopefully that's all we're going to need. But yeah, so it's pretty simple. This is the way, again, this is the way this thing is set up. It is set to right click, sneaking, aim level, straight. And then I guess this doesn't really work. This doesn't really matter. I did put in the redstone augment. By default, these machines don't come with the redstone or the configurable sides. I put those in there because because I wanted to turn this thing off. I didn't want to just keep spawning all the villagers. I kind of wanted to regulate this a little bit. And then, yeah, down below, that pressure plate is on that conduit, which is providing the redstone signal as the villagers land on it. So yeah, I think this is going to be pretty cool. Let's take a look at what's going on over on this other side. It looked like it did pull out a soul valve, but I want to make sure things are happening correctly over here. Yeah, it's getting the experience. It's doing the thing. It takes a little bit of time for those enticing crystals to be made. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer until we're able to make all of those neutron collectors. But we should be able to make 1 or 2 of them, I think. Yeah, and this is just filling up full of those souls. Okay, so I think we should be good. I might do more than the bare minimum that we need for this. So Vibrantium, we do have some of these. So we should be able to add those here. The HOP stuff, we never really finished up. There is this. We should be able to run that through like our smeltery factory. Yeah, I'll just put a stack in there, stack in here. Cool, those are all cooked up. Okay, so HOP. We have 2 stacks of that now. Put that right here, which should... Whoop, come on. There we go. There's a neutron collector. That should complete that recipe is what I was trying to say and failing at. How are we doing on those crystals? 152. Okay, let's get these things filled out here. All right, so there is the full recipe minus the Vibrantium in that one. So that's pretty awesome. We're still waiting on more of those crystals. So we can make our first neutron collector. Vibrantium, can I tell the system to make that? You know what? We don't have a recipe set up. I'm going to have to make a recipe for that. We have 41 enticing crystals right now, 42. So yes, we will be able to make that Vibrantium stuff. No problem. I'll have to set up a recipe for that. Let's make a neutron collector. Yeah, as you can see, it used up that one thing. And I got to pull one more out of here and put it right here. And then we can make another one. It's going to be quite the process. I don't know where we're going to put these things. We might put them in the last millennium since they're going to take up some space. They are kind of like solar panels. They have to have direct access to the sky, right? Or otherwise they don't work. And like I said, every 5 minutes, we will see a tiny pile, 9 tiny piles to make a nugget, 9 nuggets to make an ingot. So 81 times 5 minutes is how long it takes to make 1 ingot. It's going to take a minute. So we got a lot of crafting to do. We still got a bit to wait on the enticing crystals. We got a bit to wait on these crystallized redstone. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of time, but you know what? I think we're gonna get this stuff done. We'll probably get these things hooked up next time. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to get them done today. We were able to make a couple of them today, but we definitely need more, and they need their own place to live. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.